Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Denis Oakley, and today we're looking at startup problems. Sorry, we're a little bit late. So today's startup problems is lack of focus. Friday, I was talking to a very smart girl, great entrepreneur, and she said to me, Denis, I've got this startup. It's not doing so well. It's making money, and what I want to do is I want to move into a couple of things. I want to do option A, which is this, which is going to take about half of my time, and I want to spend about 20% of my time on option B while still running my original business. And I'm like, ooh. Okay, so the first business isn't working well. You don't know if the second business is going to work, but it's going to take a lot of effort. And the third business, you don't know if it's going to work, and it's going to take a lot of effort. What do you think is going to be the answer here? Yeah, it's probably going to be, yeah, the same problem that we get a lot of time. So with a startup, almost certainly you want to focus on a single business. The only exception to this is if you're already working for somebody else, you've got a nice paying job and you're doing your startup as a side gig. Yeah. So basically one brings in the money, the other is you're running around, you're playing, you're experimenting, you're testing, you're validating, you're finding your product market fit. And then at a certain point when you've got enough money coming in on the new business, you say, bye-bye. Yeah, stick it to the man, whatever, and you start your startup for proper. The other exception is if you've got a business that is run by somebody else is doing all the operating, and you're turning up once a month, once a fortnight, once a quarter to see how things are going, then also in that case you don't need to you can run multiple businesses. But if you're operating, that is, you're trying to run, you're doing the day-to-day control, the day-to-day management, you cannot run multiple businesses. You need to focus. And that applies for businesses that are the same in kind, or they're quite different. So trying to run a corner shop and a tech startup at the same time, yeah, that bad. If you're trying to run a corner shop and a few distribution thingy to other corner shops, it's just going to be slower and with a blunter knife, and it's going to hurt more and you'll bleed out not quite so quickly. But this is the problem. If as an entrepreneur you want to do something, you need to put your effort in, you need to focus 100% until you actually get it working all the way through. It's only when you're able to have managers, you've got a COO, you've got everything down below you that is running it, is going that you can even think about doing multiple things. Why? Yeah, why is this? I think there are two reasons. Firstly, if you're unable to decide between 2 to 3 reasonably good options, one, you're probably not very good at decisions, because you're unable to clearly make a decision to see which one is the best and commit to it. Therefore, every other decision you make is likely to be as muddled as that, and that just leads you down a slippery slope into doom and gloom. Boom, boom, boom. So that is the first thing. It's a sign of muddled thinking, of a lack of focus, and if it affects the high up the high up decisions, the strategic ones, is also going to play down at lower level decisions. So best to step back, figure out how to make a good decision here, because one or other of the decisions is going to, or one or other of the businesses is going to be better or worse for you. So just clear out the bad one. Second point is the fear of letting go, the fear of losing opportunity, the fear of missing out. You just want to you don't want to lose the potential, and if you just hold on, you can never say that this potential's died. But at the same time, by starving a business of all your effort, all your ideas, all your creativity, all your passion, you're killing that in a slightly different way. You're sort of just getting it slowly, sort of doing that mafia, sort of garrotting the business. It's not quite as messy as a bullet to the brain, but a dead is a dead, and both corpses are going to feed the fishes. So you need to focus on one. And then the real reason why it doesn't work is there is just this huge opportunity cost that you face when working on different businesses. So opportunity cost is the cost that if I'm doing this rather than this, this is the time, the effort that I lose that I'm not doing this. So if you've got an opportunity to sell a kid a glass of lemonade for $5 and you go to the toilet, there's an opportunity to cost when you go to the toilet because you're not there when the kid comes by, and you can't sell her a glass of lemonade if you're not there. And it's exactly the same when you are playing with multiple businesses. Yeah, you have got a limited amount of hours in the day, you've got a limited amount of brain power, definitely of willpower. You've also got transaction and switching costs. So moving from one business to the next business to the next business, there's a moment of disorientation. Imagine just waking up in the morning. I did this morning. I was sleeping in the kids' room because they were all in with the mum. And I'm in the wrong room, and it's like, where am I? I've woken up a little bit late because the lights come in from a different direction. Oh, I've got to go to boom. And so there's that mental readjustment, that figuring out of who you are, where you are, what you're doing in order to get things to happen. And this has a persistent drag at everything that you're doing. If you're 100% focused on the one thing, the one business, it works. And you can also devolve this down. We've talked about this before in busyness and the problems that startup entrepreneurs and CEOs have. But when you're looking at being busy, when you're looking at doing multiple things, so for example, if you've got marketing and you're focusing on LinkedIn, and then you go to Facebook, and then you go to this, and then you go to that, each is quite different. There is a switching cost in each case that you've got to overcome, and these all cause you big problems, big challenges, overcoming them, and it decreases your efficiency. So that is really what the big message I want to get across to you today, that you need to focus down on one business, on one idea, go for it. Have a plan B and say, okay, I get to a certain point, I've spent so much time, I've spent so much money, I haven't hit this target for sales, I haven't hit this target for user acquisition, and at that point I'm then going to switch to plan B, which is the second plan, the second idea that I had, and I got to run with that. If I've still got the willpower, I've still got the energy, I've still got the mojo to be getting up and doing this every day. This is far faster, far more effective at getting you to where you want to be. And if you go back into the military history, which I love, generally, if a general had a good work out plan and he went at it boldly, he was a lot more successful than certainly when armies where they had multiple people sort of thinking, oh, should we do this? Shall we do this? Shall we do this? And then they'd often be defeated in detail, which is indeed what happened to the Austrians at Jena, and I think Austerlitz, I'm not so sure about, but multiple battles of the Napoleonic Wars, because they could not decide what to do and they frittered away their strength in inconsequential battles, whereas Napoleon just brought all his effort, all of his forces into one decisive point at time, as the Germans called it, is schwerpunkt, war point. Bang! That is where you need to win. What is your schwerpunkt? Your war point that is going to win it for you. And that is where you need to put in your focus onto making it happen. So my name's Denis Oakley. I do strategy for startups. I help you make better decisions about what you need to do, where you need to go, and of course, where your focus needs to be. So please subscribe, like the video, comment. I try and reply to all comments on my videos. Head over to denis-oakley.com for a lot of stuff about business model innovation and business models and how you design your own business models. And see you tomorrow at around 10 a.m. GMT plus at 8.